your bottom, glutes, legs, maybe the heels of your feet, maybe the sides of your feet. Just noticing and allowing yourself to breathe in, elongating your breath in, your inhales. Maybe pausing at the top. And then emptying out all of your breath. And then continue to breathe equal duration with your inhales and your exhales. With each exhale, allowing your body to relax and release. And maybe just snuggling down just a little bit more into your mat. Allowing your mat to support you. Maybe while you're focusing on your breath, you begin to think about something that you'd like to carry through your practice today. It can be a thought, a phrase, maybe something that you're working on. It could be a goal that you've set for yourself. It's the new year. Everyone's setting these goals, but a lot of people are setting these long-term goals, something that they're going to be able to do within this year. Maybe your goal is just for this 60-minute period. And if you'd like to carry that goal throughout your day or week, then that's fine too. And we're going to come back to our normal breaths. Bringing a little bit more awareness into our bodies. Let's bring both knees to our chest, rocking from left to right. Your eyes can be closed still if that feels good. Making onto the earth. Let's do a couple flex points here. Breathing in and releasing out. Lower our left leg all the way down, slowly down to the mat. And let's bring our right leg across our body. Maybe our right hand comes, but being very gentle with our body, allowing your glutes to continue to make contact with the mat. So maybe you don't cross your leg over too far over, just a little bit. Support your leg with your right arm, with your right hand. Continuing to push your hip, your glutes into the mat, your left side body. And then bringing your leg up to the sky, bringing your knee to your chest, and then lowering your leg all the way down to the mat. Bringing your left leg up to the sky, flexing and pointing. And then crossing your left leg over to the right, just a little bit. We want to keep our left side bottom onto the mat. And then opening up the leg to the left side. Hand, your left arm. Continuing to push your right side body into the mat. Feeling yourself anchored. And then bringing your left leg up to the sky, bringing your knee to your chest. And then releasing your leg down to the earth, shaking your feet out. And then we're going to roll ourselves up into a tabletop. I'm going to take my sweatshirt off. Tabletop, and let's just give ourselves a second to align our bodies. So making sure that our shoulders are aligned with our wrists and our hips aligned with our knees. And then we'll start doing a couple cat-cow with your own breath at your own pace. Breathing in and breathing out. So connecting your breath to your movement, allowing this to be a fluid motion. We'll just do a couple more. Waking up our spine. And we're going to push ourselves up into down dog. Maybe giving yourself a generous bend to the knees, pushing your hands into the mat. Really feeling the connection from the top of your head to pedaling out. Releasing your neck. Releasing your head. And then coming up on your tippy toes. And then intentionally walking yourself towards the front of your mat, really feeling each step in your forward fold. Again, bringing a generous bend to your knees. Then we're going to bend our left knee and we're going to twist to the right. And maybe this time, instead of bringing your hand all the way up to the sky, your right hand, bring it to your waist. And if you'd like, you can bring your arm towards the back, towards your lower back. So you're in that half bind. And then release your right hand down and we'll go the other opposite way. So bending your right knee. And then maybe starting off with your hand on your waist. And then if you'd like, bringing it to the back, to your lower back. And then we'll come back to center, releasing. And then pushing yourself up into standing. Hands are going to come overhead. And then we're going to drop our right arm down, bringing our left arm up and over. Gaze is going to come towards the sky. And then bring your right arm up to the sky, bringing our hands behind our back, interlacing our fingers, and just trying to push your hands away from your body, opening up your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then releasing, bringing both arms up to the sky, releasing your left arm down, and bringing your right arm up. And then coming back to center. Let's bring our hands behind our back one more time. We're going to bring our hands to our lower back with our fingers either facing the sky or the ground. Again, squeezing our shoulder blades together, opening up our chest. And then releasing down, bringing your hands overhead. And then bringing your hands down to a T, and then we're going to kind of dive over into a forward fold. Coming into halfway lift, forward fold, planting your hands, and we're going to come into our first plank. And then push yourself up into a down dog. Again, into plank. And then up into down dog. One more time, coming into plank. And then lower yourself intentionally and slowly all the way down to the mat. Taking a couple there. We're going to breathe in up into baby cobra. And then breathe out, lowering yourself down. Again, breathe in up into baby cobra. And then lowering down. We're going to breathe in up to full cobra if that feels good right now. Releasing your shoulders away from your ears. And then coming all the way down. Pushing yourself back up into tabletop. We're going to shoot our right leg back. And then we're going to bring our left arm forward. So feeling the connection from your fingertips to the bottom of your feet. And then we're going to bring knee to elbow and then shoot out. Knee to elbow one more time, shoot it out. Releasing your left hand down to the mat and then swinging your foot in between your hands, coming into your first low lunge. There we go. Bring your arms overhead. And then twisting your body, opening up to the left. Maybe your gaze follows your left arm. And then bring up overhead. Releasing your hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers again and pushing your hands away from your body. Bringing your chest up. And then releasing, bringing your hands up overhead again. Really kind of settling into this pose. And then framing your foot with your hands, swinging your right leg back, all the way back, kicking it all the way back. And then we're going to bend our knees so our foot is up towards the sky. Pulse. A couple pulses, pushing your foot up to the sky. 1, 2, and then release down. Bringing your toes together and sinking down into a child's pose. Taking a couple breaths. And then bringing yourself back up into tabletop. Extending your left leg out towards the back. Bring your right arm up. Just feeling that connection, feeling your strength. And then when you're ready, knee to elbow. And then shoot it out. Knee to elbow again. And then out. One more time, knee to elbow. Out. Releasing your hand back down to the mat, swinging your foot in between your hands, and then coming up into a low lunge. Breathing in, and then releasing, opening up to your right. Looking over your right shoulder. And then bringing your hands overhead. And let's bring our arms down into cactus arms. Still squeezing our shoulder blades together and opening up our chests. And let's release, framing our foot, swinging our foot all the way back so our left foot is extended back. And we're going to bend our knee so our foot is pointing or towards the sky. And we're going to pulse, bring our foot up higher to the sky. 1, one more time, 2, and then releasing down. Let's walk our hands towards the front of our mat in inchworm. So releasing, keeping your bottom up, your hips up. And then releasing yourself all the way down to the mat. Releasing your head, maybe rocking your forehead from left to right. A little massage on your third eye. Bringing your big toes together and pushing yourself up into cobra. And then lowering down and pushing yourself all the way up into downward facing dog. Taking a big breath here and releasing out. Bringing your right leg up, bending your knee, opening up your hips. And then we're going to bring knee to right elbow, swing it up, knee to nose, swing it up. And then we're just going to swing our foot in between our hands. And we're going to come into warrior 1. Feeling the strength. Maybe energetically feeling your thighs, like squeezing your thighs together to give you more stability and strength. We're going to bring our hands behind our back, interlacing our fingers again, pushing our hands away from our body. And then if it feels good, coming down into humble warrior. Releasing your hands to the inside of your right foot and heel toeing your right foot to the edge of the mat in like a high lizard. Breathing in and releasing out. Get a good grip on the mat as you swing yourself up into a three-legged dog. And then release your right foot down to the mat. Taking a couple breaths here. Maybe coming back to your intention. And then bring your left leg up, bending your knee, opening up your hips. We're going to bring knee to left elbow, then swing it up. Knee to nose, swing it up, and then swing your foot in between your hands, coming into warrior one. And then interlacing your hands behind your back, pushing your hands away from your body. And when you're ready, hinging over into humble warrior. Releasing your hands to the inside of your foot, heel toeing your foot to the edge of the mat into this high lizard. Breathing in, chest is up. Breathing out. And then swinging your left leg all the way up into a three-legged dog. And then releasing down to the mat. Breathing in and releasing out. Looking towards our feet, we're going to walk our hands to our feet in a forward fold. Pushing into our feet, let's come up into standing. Hands are going to come overhead. Let's go back down into a forward fold. Coming up to halfway lift. Back down into forward fold. Pushing up into standing. Hands are going to come overhead. We're just going to do that one more time. Down into forward fold. Maybe this time grabbing your big toes and pulling your head towards the mat. Releasing your big toes. Coming into halfway lift. Into forward fold. Pushing yourself up into standing. Hands are going to come overhead into heart center. We're going to come into a couple of balance poses. Breathing in, releasing out. Feeling the strength in your right leg. Bringing your left knee up into a 90-degree angle. And let's open up your knee to the side. Whoa. Really focusing on your core. Focusing on your focal point, your drishti. And then bringing your knee back to center. We're going to come into a figure four. So bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh. And you can stay there, or you can come down into like a chair pose. You can stay there, or you can rest your elbows on your leg. Or you can bring your hands all the way down to the mat. Then let's bring ourselves back up to standing. Releasing, coming back up into a 90 degree, and then stepping forward, shaking that right leg out. Whew. We're going to go to the other side. So feeling your stability in your left leg, bringing your right leg up to 90 degrees, opening up to the side, coming back forward, and then transitioning into your figure four. And wherever feels good for you, wherever you're going to land on this side. And then coming back up. Whoa. Bring your leg out to 90. And then stepping forward. Shaking the left leg out a bit. And we're going to bring our arms overhead. Giving ourselves a little baby back bend here. Then into a forward fold. Halfway lift. And let's just go through a flow. Forward fold. Planting your hands into plank. Down to chaturanga or all the way down. Halfway lift or cobra. And then downward facing dog. Taking a couple breaths. We're going to lift our right leg, swinging it in between our hands. Again, coming up into warrior one. Just feeling the strength in this pose. Noticing where your front knee has landed. Is it pointing towards your second toe? And then let's come into warrior two. Then we're going to come into reverse triangle. So straighten out your front leg, bring your right arm up overhead. And then we're going to transition into triangle. So opening up, shooting our left hip out, releasing our hands down to the mat, a block, or your ankle. And then gaze can come up to the sky. We're going to pivot towards the front of our mat in a high runner's lunge. So your back heel is going to come up. Chest is going to come up. And then we're going to transition into a warrior three. So it can be a restorative warrior three with props, not really restorative, but helped with props, if that feels good. Your hands can come by your side also, or towards the front or to heart center. And then we're going to swing our left foot to meet our right. Hands are going to come overhead. And then we're going to come into a forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Bringing our right foot back. Coming up into warrior one. Again, checking to see where your knee is, your front knees has landed. And then coming into warrior two. We're going to come into reverse triangle, so straightening out your front leg and bringing your left arm up and over. Your gaze is still towards the sky. And then we're going to transition into triangle. So opening up into a T, shooting your right hip out to the side and lowering your left hand down to the mat or block or your shin. And the gaze follows your right hand. Then we're going to bring our right hand down. We're going to pivot towards the front of our mat. So we're in a high runner's lunge. Chest is up. And then we're going to transition into the warrior three. So whatever warrior three feels good for you, wherever your arms land. And then we're going to bring our right foot to meet our left. Let's heel toe our feet to the edge of the mat. And then we're going to sink down into Malasana. And if Malasana is, if this is a comfortable position, maybe activating your Mula Bandha a little bit and raising your body up, maybe just a little bit towards the sky. And then we're going to plant our hands, coming back up into a semi-wide-legged forward fold. Heel toeing our feet so they're hip width apart. We're going to bring our right foot back, pivoting towards the wide edge of the mat. And just releasing your head so you're in a wide-legged forward fold. Let's bring our left hand to the center. Let's twist to the right. So bringing your hand to your waist first, if that feels good, and then bringing your hand up to the sky, or you can come into a half bind. And then releasing, switching sides. So again, your hand can come to your waist or up to the sky or in a half bind. And then releasing both hands down to the mat. And then walking your hands out to the front in a wide-legged downward facing dog. So releasing your head in between your arms. Releasing your back. And then we're going to come back to center, pivoting towards the front of our mat. And we're going to just bring our back foot just a little bit closer so we're in pyramid. And we're going to come to a halfway lift in pyramid. And then let's release down. We're going to do a twist. So you can twist to the left. You can bring your hand to your waist
and look that way. And if you want to go a little bit further, you can bring your arm up to the sky. But if to your waist feels like that's where you want to land, it's perfectly, that's where I want to land today. And then facing forward, we're going to bring both feet together in a forward fold and push yourself up. Hands are going to come overhead. And then hands are going to come to heart center by your side, rolling your shoulders back. Breathing in, hands are going to come overhead again. Breathing out, forward fold. Let's bring our left foot back and then pivoting towards the wide edge of your mat. This time we're going to bend our right knee and then bend your left knee. Just going back and forth. And then we'll find center, coming back down into a forward fold. Pivoting towards the front of our mat, coming into pyramid on this side. So you might want to shorten your stance. And then twisting to the right. So you might want to bring your right hand to your waist. And then twist to the right, looking over your right shoulder. And then releasing, bringing both feet together in a fold. And then halfway lift. Let's go through a flow. Forward fold into plank. And then we'll just meet in downward facing dog. Taking a couple breaths in down dog. Maybe coming back to your intention. Releasing your knees down to the mat. And we're going to come into a twist. So our right arm is going to come up to the sky. Bringing it under your left. Releasing your shoulder, then your head. And maybe walking your left hand towards the front of your mat. And then we'll push ourselves up, bring your right arm up to the sky, and then releasing down. Bring your left arm up, bring it under your right, releasing your shoulder and then your head. Walking your right hand towards the front of your mat if that feels good. And then pushing yourself up, bringing your left arm up overhead, releasing down. And we're going to come into a child's pose. So bring your big toes together and sinking down into your child's pose. Maybe walking your fingers just a little bit more further towards the front of your mat. Then we're going to bring our whole body down to the mat. Bring our hands by our sides, our arms by our sides. We're going to come into locust pose. So emptying out your breath. On your next inhale, we're going to bring our body up, our head up, our feet up, our arms up, just hovering. And then release down. One more time, breathing in, coming up and hovering. And then releasing down. We're going to bring ourselves up into a seated position. Our right foot is going to come to the inside of our thigh. And we're going to bring our arms up overhead, really elongating your spine. And then when you're ready, hinging over your leg, releasing your neck, your head. And walking yourself back up. We're going to come into cow face. So we're going to bring our legs so they're to the side, and they may be tipping over towards the front so our knees can get aligned with each other. And if you like, you can bring your right arm up overhead, bending your elbow towards your back. And then if you can, catch your hands or just grab your shirt. And then you can hinge over. And let's come up. We're going to switch sides. So our right foot is facing the front of our mat, left foot inside our thigh. Breathing in, arms are going to come all the way up to the sky. And then hinging over. And then walking yourself back up. We're going to come to on cow face on the opposite side. So bringing your knees on top of each other, maybe tipping over to line them up. Nice. And then bring your left arm up over and then your right arm under. If they can meet, that's awesome. If not, it's okay. And then hinging over your legs. Then coming up, we're just going to bring our right knee up to the sky. And if it feels good still for your left knee to be bent under your body, then that's awesome. If not, you can straighten it out. And we're going to twist to the right. So bring your left arm up. We're going to twist over to the right, looking over our right shoulder. Breathing in, twist, breathing out, length.
And then let's switch sides. So bring your right arm up overhead. When you're ready, twisting to the left. Feeling your body wringing out all the energy and the toxins that you no longer need or want. And then facing forward, we're going to bring both legs forward. And then we're just going to walk our hands towards the front of our mat, towards our feet. And then whenever you feel a little bit of sensation, releasing your head down. And then walking yourself back up. We're going to bring our knees up, feet are firmly planted on the mat. And we're just going to lower ourselves all the way down to the mat. If you want something to prop your head on, I always do. You can grab that. And we're going to bring our knees to our chest, maybe rocking from left to right. Bring our feet up to the sky, feeling your whole back making contact with the earth. Maybe doing a little flex point here. Maybe noticing the change in your body from the beginning of the class to now. And then lowering your left leg down to the mat. Bringing your right knee to your chest. Maybe bringing your knee a little bit closer to your armpit if that feels good. Maybe creating a little bit of movement, making circles with your knee. Moving your hip around. And then twisting to the left, opening up your arms. Maybe your gaze follows your right hand. Then coming back to center, we're going to open up our knee towards the right side. Continuing to push our left hip into the earth. And then bringing it back to center, straightening up our leg up to the sky, flexing and then lowering it down very slowly. Bringing your left knee towards your chest, maybe bringing it a little bit closer to your armpit a little bit, to the side of your body. And then making circles with your knee. If you go one way, go the next. Go the other way.
And then crossing your knee over towards the right side, opening up your arms, looking over your left shoulder towards your hand. And then opening up your knee towards the left. And then bringing your knee back to center, shooting it up to the sky, your foot up to the sky. And then lowering it all the way down to the earth. Shaking both feet out, both legs out. We're going to bring our feet back to the mat, the bottoms of our feet back to the mat, so our knees are facing the sky. We're going to do a couple of bridges. So bring your feet as close to your bottom as you can. We're going to take one round of breath, breathing in and releasing out. On our next inhale, we'll breathe in, bringing our hips up to the sky, maybe shimmying your shoulder blades together. Maybe pushing your hands into the mat if that feels good. And then lowering yourself down one vertebrae at a time. We're going to do that one more time. So breathing in, bringing your hips all the way up to the sky. Maybe this time you interlace your hands under your body. Maybe you can get a little bit more length. And then lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Bringing your knees to your chest. And then maybe coming into happy baby, if that feels good. And allowing yourselves a couple of breaths, maybe about 5 breaths to get yourself ready for Shavasana. If there's any other poses that you'd like to do to get yourself ready or put on some more layers. And we'll meet in corpse pose or a comfortable seated position. I'm going to come back to your body. Come back to the sense of the earth cradling your body, noticing where your body is making contact with your mat, with the earth. Allowing yourself to feel nurtured, to feel cradled by Mother Earth. Allowing yourself to just melt. Allowing yourself to rest. Shavasana.
Maybe start to deepen your breaths, feeling warmth in the palms of your hands and the bottoms of your feet. Maybe bringing your knees to your chest and giving yourself one final squeeze, allowing yourself to roll over to one side. Taking a couple of breaths here, grounding yourself. And when you're ready, pushing yourself up into a comfortable seated position, eyes closed, hands at heart center. Coming back to your intention. And maybe taking the merit of your practice and dedicating it to someone or group of people that might need it today. Breathing in and then releasing that energy out into the world. Sending my gratitude out to you today for sharing your energy with us. The light within me honors the light within you as we bow deeply. Namaste. Well, thank you. Thank you.